travelers, and luxury destination adventurers. It's now time to enjoy the journey on Enjoy the Journey with David Hartman and guests. And now, here's David Hartman.
In the Keys.
2 o'clock. It's 2 o'clock. The show is live. Thanks for your patience. It's the Enjoy the Journey. Welcome everyone to the Enjoy the Journey live from Key Largo, Conch. This is our weekly travel show from the beautiful Florida Keys. We'd especially like to welcome our RadioA1A and Cruise and Country Radio listeners and our A1A Media Network affiliates, podcast partners, and our live streaming viewers from across the world. Yes, we have a worldwide audience. Happy Monday from the Florida Keys. David Hartman, your host, owner of Fantastic Endeavors Travel Agency here in the Florida Keys. I'm the travel agent that always asks 2 questions. What is your bucket list trip? And where do you wish you were right now? I bet you all you were here in the beautiful Florida Keys on a gorgeous Monday in early August. I have a guest here next to me, David Sheehan. We're going to talk to him today about recreation in the Florida Keys, so stay tuned. Make sure to like this on our social media channels and share it. Tell them that Dave's live today from the Key Largo Conch House. And also send a comment. We're going to have a couple trivia questions for gift certificates for the services that David's company provides. So we're going to do one right at the beginning and do one halfway, so stay tuned. But first, we like to thank our sponsors of this wonderful show. Jim LaPointe. Talk to Jim LaPointe for the Mortgage in the Keys. Chip Bell, author, the Jake Sullivan series, chipbellauthor.com. Breaking news, Chip Bell has a new audio book available for his Changes in Latitudes, Changes in Attitudes book, his 8th volume of the Jake Sullivan series. That is available now on Amazon, Audible, and iTunes. Chip Bell, the Jake Sullivan series, check it out. He's a loyal sponsor of our travel show. We also have, check out the new music store on RadioA1A and also Atlas Ocean Voyages. The new cruise line launching in July. They were on the show 2 weeks ago. The president of the cruise line is driving down from Fort Lauderdale, will be on the show in 2 weeks. So stay tuned. Live here from Key Largo Conch House. Atlas Ocean Voyages offers smaller ships designed for Luxe-Expeditions that extend the reach of adventure travel by sea, with their first ship launching in July 2021. Venture to small villages and remote locations, from the desert city of Petra to the frozen tundra of Antarctica. To experience Atlas Ocean Voyages, call David Hartman, 305-453-9208, dave@bucketwishtrip.com.
You know, they may be called smartphones, but they are handled by regular folks like you and me. And we break things. Well, no more freaking out about breaking your smartphone, because Key's Smartphone Repair is here. Just click or call keysmartphonerepair.com. That's keysmartphonerepair.com. keysmartphonerepair.com. It's fast, professional smartphone and tablet repair located in Tavernier, mile marker 90, keysmartphonerepair.com. Click it now and save.
The Health Genie System Checker answers 3 important questions when you are feeling ill. What is wrong with me? How ill am I? and where can I receive care? System Checker puts the information and answers at your fingertips with the most advanced triage and healthcare technologies available. Engage on a personal level in your own words to describe your symptoms with no smart trees or drop-down menus that force self-diagnosis. Health Genie System Checker provides an avenue to early healthcare engagement. Hello, David Hartman with Fantastic Endeavors. Fantastic Endeavors is a full-service travel agency based in Key Largo, Florida, specializing in custom individual and group travel. Our luxury travel advisors inspire people to answer 2 questions. What is your bucket list trip? And where do you wish you were right now? Fantastic Endeavors will personally tailor your journey to your needs. We build extraordinary, enriching experiences curated just for you. Call us today at 305-453-9208 or email at dave@bucketwishtrip.com. Enjoy the journey. Health Genie, Dale Clemens. Check out the Health Genie System Checker. And Michael Marinelli, the best real estate conch. He is realestateconch.com. Love Michael. I first appeared on his show. And Vic Figueroa, Key Smartphone Repair. So appreciate you all being here. Welcome back. We are live today, Monday, in the Florida Keys from Key Largo Concourse. I have David Sheehan from Pirates Cove Watersports and a few other companies we're going to talk about. And he's a good friend of mine. For over 10 years you've been in town.
Yep.
And your partner, well, Michael Byer is another good friend of mine.
Yep.
Who's unfortunately suffering down in Key West today.
Yeah,
Could not
they
be
had
here.
to go away to enjoy the rest of the Keys. So,
Someone's got to go to Key West, you know?
Yep.
Keep the economy moving. So David, with all our guests, and we're going to talk about your business today, but tell us about yourself. You have a wife, Christy. How'd you guys get here? Why'd you come here? Where did you come from?
originally born and raised in Delaware. First came to the Keys in the late 90s with the Florida Powerboat Club out of Pompano and did the Key West poker run and just loved it. First time in Key West. I had friends that used to go down to Fantasy Fest and college fraternity brothers and stuff that did that for years, and I never went, and went later in life and wish I had done it a lot sooner. And then I got married and I had pictures of Gilbert's Resort on my desk, which is the first stop of the Powerboat Club, and had that picture on my desk for 8 years in my office where I worked for 20 plus years, and got married. We honeymooned in Key West. We got back and it was winter time, and we're up in Delaware. It's just kind of gray and miserable and rainy and cold, and so we were out one night and I said, would you like to go to the Keys and live on a houseboat? And she goes, no. I go, well, what if we had a houseboat rental business and we moved to the Keys and you ran that? She says, all right, now you're talking. So with enough beer at a brew pub, we decided to buy a business in the Florida Keys. We came down for 2 days, looked at it, and started a houseboat rental business at Gilbert's, of all places, and it just kind of grew from there. So we started with Keys Adventures houseboat rentals and expanded into jet skis, kayaks, paddle boards, and then just kept growing and growing. And met my partner Michael, and he was doing parasailing, and we had an opportunity to grow into a new, bigger location and add parasailing to what we did. So he was the parasail captain and ran the parasail boat, and so we moved into the Marriott and opened a whole new chapter of our lives, and it's just been growing and moving forward since then. But yeah, just got out of Delaware, came down here, and been here 12 years now, and love it.
Excellent. It's a great story. I love people coming, because I came from somewhere else and started a business down here, the travel business, and I was a scuba dive instructor. So I love hearing stories of people from the north, like myself. I'm from Connecticut, coming down and making success down here. Now Michael's from not the north. He's a little farther Mississippi. And
he's our country boy.
Yes. So you founded your first business, and what was that business called?
Keys Adventures.
Keys Adventures, and that was 2008.
Yep.
And then Michael and you teamed up when?
In 2015, we started a company called Fly Key Largo, which was Keys, Parasail, and Wave Runners, and that was at a separate location. I had been running out of the Big Chill for about 10 years, the Big Chill restaurant and tiki bar, and we opened up at the Marriott just a few hundred yards to the south, and which is a much busier location. And we, like I said, we added the parasailing and added a lot more equipment, and then added up a lot more paddle boards, kayaks, and eventually we ended up in 2018. We bought the dive shop that originally we were subcontracted through, and so now we have a full dive, snorkel business, retail shop, training. We do full diving certification, training, all that fun stuff. Which I'm not the dive guy. Michael and his girl Susie are the dive people.
Susie.
So I'm just smart enough to give the wrong answers on certain things in diving, but I do know we're a do-it-all shop. We're probably the only shop in the Keys that I know of that has everything that we do. I don't know of another resort up and down the Keys that has all the activities we have available in full-service dive shop.
Excellent. And Pirates Cove Watersports is the dive shop.
Yes.
It's located at the Marriott Bay Resort.
Yeah, the Marriott Key Largo Bay Beach Resort, which is the big Marriott in the middle of Key Largo. They've been renovating. It's a beautiful property. Restaurant, tiki bar, pool. We have a nice protected basin to keep our equipment and our dive boat. It's a 49 passenger dive boat. It's a big 45-foot Corinthian. So despite the COVID, we normally can take 49 passengers on that vessel, whether it's a sunset cruise, snorkeling, and I think we're limited at 32 divers if we just had divers on the boat. So
right now it's 32.
Well, that would be the max capacity. It was just divers, just due to the weight. We're trying to keep everything around 20 to 22 people. More than a little bit less than half capacity of the full boat. And there's plenty of room to space out with that few people on there.
Okay. So you guys are following proper guidelines and safety.
Yep.
And because everyone's big about safety, the Keys have been open for 2 months now, since June 1st, and you guys have been probably open along with that time frame.
Yes. Yep.
And so how's business been since the reopening?
It's been busy since June 1st, since opening. We're luckily where we're located. People come down from Lauderdale, Miami, from the southern Florida and west coast of Florida, because we're only a couple hours away from most of those areas. And a lot of those areas are still closed down, so we're lucky that we're able to have some of the bars, well, not just bars, but restaurants that serve beer and alcohol and stuff. They're still open, and great restaurants and music. So that's still going on. So it's still a draw for a lot of people, and they just, their towns, some of them are still shut down and still on takeout food only. And so I mean, we're lucky that we were able to reopen it at pretty much full capacity. During the shutdown, our Big Chill location was open for on-call rentals and things, and people, if there were locals here, because many people may not know it, but there's only one road in and one road out here, and they had it shut down with a roadblock just to help protect everybody here in Monroe County, so it was a quiet time. It was a quiet couple months, but we made it through, and we're chugging along really well right now. So
now you have the 2 locations, the Big Chill and Marriott. Mm-hmm. Obviously the dive boat's at the Marriott.
Correct.
But what's the difference in services offered at each?
We're full service with the diving, snorkeling, boat rentals, boat tours, sunset tours, paddleboarding, kayak, jet skis at the Marriott. The Big Chill, mainly right now we're just doing, we have some paddle boards and kayak rentals at that location, and then we mainly do the jet ski rentals and jet ski tours out of there, but we do pick up people there for sunset tours, boat tours. During the lockdown, when we had locals that wanted to go diving, we weren't allowed on the Marriott property. And so luckily that property was 200, 300 yards away. We were able to take our boat, pick up divers at the Big Chill, and still get out diving, which was still a safe activity through the lockdown, and still able to get out and service some of the local customers and to operate that way. Obviously, it wasn't as busy as we'd have liked, but that was a nice thing of having a location so close. And we're able to share equipment much more readily. If we get a big group, we can send them over to the Marriott where we keep more equipment. It's close by, and the hotel obviously is a big draw for us. We have customers right there. But we do offer dive, stay and play packages. We get discounted rates on the rooms at the Marriott.
Very nice.
And some other local hotels. The other thing that Michael and I made a decision to do a couple of years ago, we bought the Florida Keys Visitor Center from a friend of mine. I'd been working with him for 10, 11, 12 years through 2 or 3 different owners and managers of that business. And then it ended up just being a good time and decision for us to buy it and help draw business and get discounted rooms and things and discounted activities and recreation up and down the entire Keys. We can actually book hotels through Expedia all around the world and get save people money that way also. But it's just that way we're able to book things all the way to Key West, from Key Largo to Key West, and help people with their whole vacation, not just right here in Key Largo, but that's where our main businesses are. But the visitor center definitely helps with the recreation activities, and we have web presence and people that answer the phones can help people whether they physically go in the shop or not. And they say, hey, sort of like what you do. What do you want to do?
Sure.
Where would you want to be right now?
Yes, where would you want to be right
Instead
now?
of standing in our shop, what would you rather be doing? They say, I want to be on a jet ski, or I want to be on a paddleboard or on a boat, or everyone comes to see Jesus.
Oh yeah, Christ did this, and you guys have that ability now.
Yep. So
I love you guys are diversified, and I love your partnership with Michael, because I've known Michael since about 2012. Michael, remember I taught you how to floss. I taught him all his dance moves. That was at Christine Eric's wedding.
Gotcha.
Oh no, actually Brian and Renee's wedding in 2012.
I was at
That's
that
where I
one.
first met up with Michael. And then through our friends Christine and Eric, used to own Blue Water, then we hung out a lot more. And they talked about partnering with Dave. So I know Dave, because I met you at the Big Chill when you first came down here.
Yeah.
And I thought, what a great partnership that is, because he's at the diving side, plus he has that personality.
Yeah.
Right? Everyone knows Michael Byers, and shout out to Michael and Suzanne. Hope you guys are okay. Key West.
Little day drinking.
And I always had it on to have Michael on the show, and then when you were available, I said, well, David's great too, because he has the whole history of this show. So what a great partnership you guys have, and it's nice that you have the visitor center now to kind of help people in general.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been telling people, like, listen, it changes every day, so look at our Chamber of Commerce's, our visitor centers, Monroe County, BC site to see what's going on down here. The big topic last week when I did my show was about lobster season.
Right.
I don't know what boat ramps are closed. I don't know what's open, but checked out those sites. It's important you have that resource. You mentioned a few times about boat tours. I remember you had a glass bottom boat no more.
Yeah, I have I think there's about 5 of them in the world. It's a glass bottom hydrofoil, so it's a high speed aluminum. It looks like it's a crazy looking boat. We would do dolphin tours and snorkel trips on it. I have it dry docked right now. Got a little bit of cosmetic damage during Irma, and then as we got busy with the dive shop and the other things, it just kind of got put on the back burner, because that boat, even though it can hold 18 people, we only take 6 people plus captain and crew on that boat. But it's a pretty unique boat. It's got a 6x9 viewing dome on the bottom, so it's one of the biggest single panel viewing domes, and it actually magnifies. But the boat also does over 50 miles an hour.
Really?
So it's a hydrofoil. It lifts as soon as you give it gas. It lifts out of the water and takes off. So I'm hoping to get that finished, cleaned up, painted, and back in the water. It just got kind of put on the back burner, but that is a business that we had and still do have. It's just been dry docked for too long.
Too long. I've seen the boat when we were over your house for one of the famous Michael crawfish boils.
Yep.
You had it docked. I'm like, to me, like, it was so cool. Like, this is a glass bottom boat, and I peeked in, like, what a cool concept.
Yeah, it's a when people see it when it's at the dock. We used to run that out of the Big Chill location, and when people would see it, they would just want to get a picture with it or get on it and go on it, because it's such a unique looking boat. It's a Russian built boat. They're called a Looker 30 is the size I have. They make some bigger ones now, but it's people when they see it, they're drawn to it to get on it, want to get on it.
Look for it when it comes out. Where would you park that when it comes out of dry dock?
Probably at Marina Del Mar over by Skipper's. We have a boat slip over there. There's another. We have another private charter boat that runs over there. It does snorkel trips, sunset cruises, stuff like that. So I mean, we've got a few different locations, 4 different things to do, but that's just a 6-pack boat. But I'll probably put the glass bottom boat over there and run that out of that location once it gets back in the water.
Right.
So,
Add another location.
yeah, originally we were going to be at Whale Harbor down in in that very first slip there coming over the bridge. So as you came over the bridge, that's the first thing you would see. But it ended up working out even better being at the Big Chill, and because everyone's there to watch the sunset, and you got to look past that boat to see the sunset. So it was in a lot of thousands and thousands of sunset pictures also.
Nice. I love it.
Yep.
But we are here, the Enjoy the Journey Luxury Travel Show, live from Key Largo Conch House, with David Sheehan, co-owner of Pirates Cove Watersports and Keys
Adventures Watersports.
Watersports and the Visitor Center at mile marker 106.
Yep.
And we're here talking about recreation in the Florida Keys. Thank you for joining us. I was talking to Dave before the show and put him on the spot for some trivia prizes. So we're going to have some trivia. If you heard us talking, we're not doing those questions. So I thought of some other questions. And right now you guys are at Big Chill and at the Marriott. Oh, first I'll tell people right now how they found out about you. If they're listening, it's a worldwide audience, how they go online, how do they contact you guys?
I mean, the social media and the World Wide Web. If you Google, jet ski rentals or parasailing, will come up. Or if you go to the Keys, what's the you just said it, the site that has the tourism. It'll have all our business listed. But if you Google,
Chamber of Commerce.
The chamber, but the
Florida Keys Tourism.
Yes, yeah, that site. If people say, just Google what to do in Key Largo, that usually is one of the first sites to come up.
Okay.
Is that site and our activities will be listed on there. But if they were to Google Pirates Cove Watersports in Key Largo, that'll pull up our website that has virtually all the activities and boat tours and package deals and things that we offer, and all the dive instruction and dive classes that we offer. Everything should be pretty well spelled out on that website, and that'll have it in place. And most of the same, we have less activities at Jimmy Johnson's Big Chill. That's the Big Chill's has a big swimming pool area that people come to and hang out for the day. Big tiki bar and live music every night. So I mean, it's more the kind of like the fun party spot and food and eat and drink. Some of the best pizza in the Keys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love the Big Chill.
Enrico's Pizza.
Enrico's.
And then we get a lot more of the family activity out of our Marriott locations. Big families vacationing and coming down. And that's who a lot of that's where most of our customers are. Families coming down on vacation. When I moved here, we thought we'd be busy in the winter. We always heard snowbird, and so we were like, great, we'll be here in the winter and then go back to our beach house in Delaware in the summer. No, summer's the busy time. So just like in up in the beach towns up north, summertime when all the kids and everyone's out of school, that was our busy time. So we found out the hard way that we were staying here.
Well, see, you didn't know the rule in Florida. No local goes in the water when the temperature's below 80.
Right. I found out. We quickly became the people in the long sleeves and jackets when it was 70 degrees out, as opposed to when we first moved here and we were in the short sleeves and shorts, when it was 60 out. I thought it was funny. We moved here in 08, and in 2010 we had that coldest winter on record. And the odd thing, they opened the homeless shelters when it got 50 degrees. Where I'm from, when it turned first day of 50, you were out playing frisbee or out in t-shirts and
time for spring cleaning.
Yeah, that was you were outside. Woo, winter's over.
Yeah, I grew up in Connecticut, and I drove through Delaware all the time because I went to grad school at University of Virginia, and I would cut through 295 and get right back on, or get right on and right off over the bridge, and always go through Newark, Newark.
Yeah.
And I actually did some recruiting on that campus in my late 20s. A beautiful campus.
It's the most expensive stretch of I-95, and I think it's only 12 miles long.
Nice. Gotta love Delaware.
Yep.
Hey, it's our small state, but it's the first state.
And no sales tax.
So the first trivia question I came up with, and David's thinking of a second for later on the show, stay tuned. And we have a gift certificate for, you said kayaking?
Yeah, we can do kayak or paddleboard for 2 people for an hour, little gift certificate.
Sure.
It's a beautiful area to go out on the bay there on Blackwater Sound. And main thing is just remember, wherever you paddle to, you got to paddle back.
Sure. And what we can do is, if you're not located here, we can probably put your name at the shop or something on record,
Yeah,
so it's there.
absolutely, yeah. We
'Cause
just have
obviously,
it on file.
you have to be here in person to use it. And if you want to gift it, just contact me, and I'll talk with David and Michael about that.
Yep, that's not a problem.
You guys have 2 locations, Big Chill and the Marriott.
Correct.
And those are, by the way, those are mile marker 103, 104 on the bay side.
Yeah, 103-800 is the Marriott,
Yeah.
and then the Big Chill is mile marker 104.
Which is right on Route 1 for those of you watching in our worldwide audience that don't know the Keys too well. They had a 3rd location. Where was it? So that's the first trivia question. And local, if you know it, you can look online, you'll probably find it. But there was a location in Almirada, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And it was at a very famous named place. And I will give a hint. It was on the Bayside.
It was on the Bayside.
So that's the first trivia question. Put it in the chat. We are monitoring the chat. I'll pull up later and answer your questions. But any questions about Recreation the Keys, about David, about his business, about Michael Byers? If you had a question about Michael drinking in Key West, we can probably pass it along to him. Just kidding. We don't want to bother him. I know he's too busy to watch the show right now. But please put in the chat. They had a 3rd location in Almirada. When did you close that location?
Just last November.
Up
Another
until
party
recently.
bought it, and we were asked to break our lease so that the transaction could go through. So.
Oh, good question. So Sherry, thank you for being here. Sherry Byers, inside information. Unfortunately, your insider information. Oh no, someone got it. Oh, Sherry, great guest, Bass Pro. That was the first one. Carly, you
Carly
win.
got it right. Yeah.
Do you know Carly?
Yeah.
Hey, Carly, congratulations. So
I think she's in Michigan right now.
yeah, so you know that is.
Happy birthday, Carly. I think I missed your birthday yesterday.
I'm going to write your name down, but David saw it, so your gift certificate will be waiting for you at the either location, I guess. That's great. Congratulations. That was quick. We have a good audience today. Thanks for being here.
Hey,
everybody.
Carly, the sheriff says, pew, 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 pew.
And what's your last name? Is it Marie? We'll call her Marie. Call her Maria. It's a Facebook name.
I
It's
know
okay.
exactly who it is.
That's right.
And then that's Michael's, so the other one is Michael's sister.
Yay! Congratulations. And Sherry Bass Pro's a great guest.
Yeah, that
Tom
is.
Whitmer's watching. I'll acknowledge you guys in a little bit. I got to work on Dave here. Then we're going to pull out the tablet and answer a question. But please put a question about Recreation the Keys in the chat. We do have a trivia question upcoming at the bottom of the hour in about 5 minutes. And then we're going to, I had this long plan. I was going to give hints in 5 minutes. Great job, Carly. I was saying, it's a restaurant named after a famous, good job. So if you have a question in mind, think about it in 5 minutes. I'll think about one too. And then we're going to do that in about 5 more minutes. Another trivia question for a $25 gift certificate for kayaking and SUP, stand-up paddleboarding.
Yep.
Now, one of my favorite activities I only did once. I want to come out with you guys. I want to hear how you do it. 'Cause I had a question from someone about this, I guess parasailing safe in general. And I did it in Hawaii, where actually I sat in a chair and they had a cable going crazy out. And to me, it was a little like too far. You couldn't even see the boat. Now, how do you guys do it down here? How's parasailing done with you guys?
The boats that we use, we are currently using a boat called an Ocean Pro. It's a Coast Guard certified vessel, so we can take 12 passengers on it, plus captain and crew. On our setup, you launch from a seated position on the rear deck of the boat.
Okay.
And we can fly singles, doubles, or triples up to 450 pounds. The equipment's rated for higher, but for safety reasons, we don't fly more than 450 pounds at a time. People will see advertised 1,000 feet, 800 feet, depending on where you're located and the FAA rules, because technically it's a flight. So we are capped by the FAA at 300 feet. So Michael likes to use his geometry to explain the Pythagorean theorem that, so we put out 800 feet of line, and at this distance and this, you're going to be at, to keep him in. So he likes to use his geometry when he's explaining it. I'm not that smart. So
Michael
but
loves his geometry.
we launch you from a seated position on the boat, and then the captain will usually offer either what they call a wet or a dry ride, which is if people want to get dipped in the water on their way back in, they get their toes nibbled on as they come in, or they can just bring them and we come back to the boat, and you come back and you land in a standing position right back onto the rear of the boat. We employ the latest safety features with different things for if there was a detachment or something like that, to be able to deflate the chute properly so people don't get blown away if it's a gusty day. And there's different safety equipment that we use on the boat and in the chute when people are flying to eliminate some of the issues. It's for the millions of flights that happen. It's safer than the drive to get to us, especially going through Miami.
Good to hear. Yeah. Yes.
That's why I stay here.
So it's a safe activity. 450 pounds max. 1 or 2 people.
Up to 3. We can fly up to 3.
3. Wow.
And now instead of the sea, they used to do it stacking people back, or some of us older folks who did it in Mexico, where a boat just pulled up to the beach and dragged you running. And if you were too many margaritas, you were getting dragged through the sand, and you were hoping they would land you back somewhere near your hotel. But knowing what I know now, I never would have done that stuff where I did it in other countries. But
I've seen that before.
Oh yeah, you can watch videos of people just getting dragged and tumbled on those operations that you'll see in some of the foreign countries. But yeah, very different here in the States. We are part of a group. Basically we have a consortium of parasail operators. And we all adhere to certain rules to keep it safe, certain wind restrictions, things like that.
Oh, sure.
And then as some accidents got notarized or publicized around the world, the government came in and put in some laws, state laws regarding the wind speeds and different flight things and requirements that the boats were to have. And luckily, our group had already self-monitored, and our rules were stronger than the state laws and federal laws for it. So we were kind of keeping ahead of it, because the problem is if people don't do it and keep it safe, it's just going to go away. So.
Well, it's important because it just looks from its face from the shore. It's like, oh my God, I would never do that. No, I don't mind heights and I love things like that, but I can see people say it looks unsafe. But I've seen your boats. I remember Michael used to run that for you.
Yep.
And it's a very beautiful operation.
It's quite. It's not like a roller coaster ride. It's more like an elevator ride, and it's very quiet and peaceful when you get up there. And luckily, our location, you can see the ocean side and the bay side on a clear day. You can see 20 plus miles either way. So it's beautiful, but it's not like a crazy thrill ride, where it's like a roller coaster. It's real quiet and peaceful. It's different than what most people would expect. But yeah, if you're afraid of heights, this is a great way to get over it.
Yes.
So, we tell people to fly like a bird, flap your arms when you go up, and just enjoy it. It's just peaceful and it's a lot. I mean, we stay busy with that. It's a cool activity.
It's a very cool activity. I like the diversity of activities you do offer. Which location is the parasailing boat?
We used to pick up at 3 locations: the Big Chill, the Marriott, and at Sundowners, which is a restaurant right in between our 2 locations. So depending on any given day, a lot of times now we just funnel everybody right to the dock at Sundowners, because it's right in between our 2 locations. So it's unfortunately, there's not gates to get through all the properties to go to the other one, but we just walk right across the parking lot of either spot and go right directly to Sundowners. And then we used to have pickup during the busy times, usually in the spring. During spring break time, we'll have them pick up. We'll have 3 different pickup times at the Marriott during the day. And the Big Chill and the Sundowners are so close that you just walk right across the other dock. We have more than one parasail boat. It's just since Irma, it hasn't been busy enough to run. Yeah.
I thought you had just the one, so you have 2 boats now.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Well, ideally, the crowds will come back because the
Yeah.
Keys are open for business.
Yep.
Come on down.
Yep. The other idea, you were starting to mention the boat tours. We do a lot of eco tours on
Eco
smaller
tours are
boats.
so cool.
And where we go out and our captains, kind of know where to go hunt down the manatees, dolphin, different wildlife, birds, and take you through some areas you normally wouldn't get to if you didn't know about them. And we do sunset cruises, which is kind of like an eco tour, but we end up out. It's more of a sightseeing one on that, and we end up out on the open water on the bay for the sunset. And a lot of times we'll try and, if we get a big enough group, we'll use our big boat, and if we get enough interest in it, sometimes we'll put live music on the boat, or we do birthday parties, weddings, stuff like that, and we have musicians that'll come play right on the boat for people if they...
Really? For the sunset cruises? I'll have to check that out.
It's, yeah. So we usually try and open that up to locals a lot. Sometimes if we know the big boat's going, we'll try and load it up and get a musician on there, and gets their name out and gets them heard and seen. So it's a fun time. Those trips are BYOB, so you can bring your own adult beverages on those.
That's
and
okay?
have fun. Yep. Absolutely. It's the Keys.
Well, you guys are covering like all these, to me, I'm a bucket list travel expert, really bucket list activities when they come to the Keys. You cover them all.
Yeah.
Because like other places, you have to go to 3-4 different operators. And I like how you consolidated that into, hey, listen, come to us for kayaking, SUP, parasailing, then dive, full service dive operation, more than full service from what you're saying.
Yeah. So I mean, that's why I say we're one of the only I know of that has everything in their one business.
One business.
And we used to have the jetpack flights, but I think the insurance and the instructors on that stuff went away.
My friend Steve in high school, I'm sure he's listening to you. Hey Steve, he approached me of like trying to invest in the franchise down here years ago. And I'm like, you're on your own on that one.
Yeah,
it just looks incredibly risky.
It was really cool. It was a good draw. Again, just after Irma, there wasn't enough business for it, and the insurance was insane for it.
So it was out there. I did see it one day, right?
Oh yeah, we ran it for several years.
That's
at the
right.
Big Chill. And then pretty much the only thing we didn't do was kiteboarding and kite surfing. And that was like the only activities we didn't do.
I'm sure.
And I get buddies that work down in Amarada that have business to do that, so I'm happy to refer them down there.
Oh, that's great.
So,
well, it's good to have affiliate partners down here. And it's really nice that you're really hooked in with the tourism boards, the hotels. Having the visitor center is key for getting, obviously you're giving them business, so they're going to support you guys and give business back. That's a fantastic relationship you created.
Yep.
But they do cover soup to nuts, recreation in the Florida Keys. We are with David Sheehan, co-owner of Pirates Cove Watersports here. The Key Largo Conch on the A1A Media Network on the Enjoy the Journey Luxury Travel Show. We're having a great time on a Monday in the Florida Keys. It's a beautiful day outside, and I hope you're having a fantastic Monday. It is time for another trivia question. I had one in mind, but it's also, I'm thinking historical because I've been here. And do you have a question in mind?
I'll defer to your judgment.
Okay. Yeah, I think it may be too easy. And Carly, you don't qualify. Once you won once. Yeah, actually, this is good. So you bought the dive shop in 2018. It wasn't named Pirates Cove.
No.
So the question is, what was the most recent name of the dive shop? Because it's been many different names.
Correct.
It's been, I was there, my friend Everett, I'm sure he's listening, my friend Everett, we got certified instructors together in 2004. We were there when that was, not Island Time. Everett, what was it? I'm drawing a blank. But we all hung out at Breezers together afterwards.
It's a dive.
It's a dive, thank you, good memory. It's a dive. And then it's been 3-4 names since then.
Oh, easily, yeah.
Easily.
The one before us, though, was a pretty famous one.
We're keeping it in the family. So
that's great.
Sherry Byers Langston, you win. Was that right? No.
Well, that technically is the corporate name, and they ran with it. But the name that was on the building and the name of the business was something different than Emotion Sports.
Okay, there's a couple answers, but Sherry, your answer of Emotion is incorrect. That's the corporate name, but that's not the name on the dive shop. We need to be specific on this one.
The name is still out there and running at a different location. Yeah, Emotion Sports was the name they started to brand it at the Marriott.
Yes. Oh,
Nope, that was prior to Emotion. So it was It's a Dive.
yes.
Then it was Pirate Island Divers.
Okay.
Then it was Emotion Sports. And then it was
Okay. This is coming from the owner, so he knows. He knows best.
What was the
But great guesses,
company right before us. Now we actually still, our corporate name is Emotion Sports Incorporated, but we run as Pirates Cove Watersports.
Okay.
But the other big famous dive shop that it was right before we bought it.
Okay, I'm gonna look back. I'll laugh out loud. That's all right, Mike. Ocean Divers. That was also.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
It was Ocean Divers.
Yep.
Wow.
It
I
was
forgot
Ocean
about that.
Divers Bayside. So
Oh, you're right.
Because Ocean
That was
Divers
the
and
most
Sharks,
recent one?
That was the one. Because
Yeah.
when they tried to brand it Emotion, and it didn't really stick. They were trying to do something where they're going to make it Emotion Sports and then open up at resorts around in the islands and try and get in with the different hotels as a brand. So that way we would bring a branded product to the hotel. But they went back, since Ocean Divers was such a big name, they made it Ocean Divers Bayside and Ocean Divers Oceanside.
Great history.
So that was the name. That's what it was. We didn't buy the Ocean Divers name, but we have some of their old signs.
Oh, Michael Lee. Hey, Michael Lee, how are you? A good friend of mine. Been here in the diving.
Oh,
industry.
yeah.
You know Michael Lee.
Yep.
I love her. She's great.
She used to bartend at Breezers
That's
way
right.
back in the day.
And that's a good. I want to go into about your post dive locations, because to me the après, I'm a skier. The après activity of those two locations is awesome. So Sherry Byers Langston, you win. We watched it come in. David and I watched it come in live. Ocean Divers is correct, and persistence pays off for Sherry. she missed the first one. The first guess was wrong. You can guess as much as you want, so that's great. So obviously you know them, so I'll let you take care of that.
All right.
Great trivia today. It's a big cheers to. Thank you for all
Good
the
job.
answers. I gotta admit, the speed of the answers this time was unbelievable. So I appreciate you guys being on top of your game. Oh, Michaeline loves us both. We love you, Michaeline.
She was one of the first people. I was talking to her about doing, I guess, working with us or doing pictures or something. She goes, I don't get in the water till it's 80. And that was one of the first locals that told me that when I moved down here. So she was like, no, it's too cold. I wait till it gets to over 80 before I get in the water.
It took me a while to learn that, because I came down in January to get certified. We were diving every day. I was getting all my instructor cards, advanced cards, master
Right.
scuba diver, instructor, trainer. And it was 74 degrees. And then it wasn't until later on, the casual divers, the reason you see me in the summer is we don't dive in the winter. I'm like, oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, we were lucky well, you're from Connecticut, right?
Yes.
So we were lucky if the weather got to 74 to 78 in August where we're from. So it's just...
There were years where your porch furniture was not uncovered until probably, I want to say, June sometimes. I mean, Memorial Day. Now, some years it was beautiful in April.
Mm-hmm.
It just was hit or miss.
Yeah.
So great questions, guys. We're just checking out the feed. So I want to mention one thing about the locations. If you go diving with Pirates Cove Watersports or snorkeling or other activities, or rented jet skis are at Big Chill?
Both
Like it. These locations are fun. Marriott has breezers, still called breezers,
Yep.
and Mario is still there.
Yes.
That guy's been there since I lived here in 2004. That's open
great.
to the public. Anyone can go to breezers.
Yes.
And then the Big Chill is open to the public restaurant. These places are phenomenal hangouts, post-activity. So you guys are in some phenomenal locations for fun.
Yeah. Sometimes too much. But
Yes. Too much fun. Too much fun for the ownership.
Is it happy hour yet? I mean,
Yes.
how long is this show? I mean, we are in the Keys, right?
Yeah, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. So we'll let you out of here in a few minutes. You've been an unbelievable guest.
Oh no, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm still on the clock, kind of.
But I love
In case
it.
my staff is watching.
Yeah. No, it's cool. And Michael does a lot of things with the staff, and the cookouts by his boat near Randell Mar, the crawfish boils at your house, and
He's
it's all
amazing
staff.
He's the cookout king. You know, he loves.
He
to
loves
do
cooking
it.
out.
We do the crawfish boils. He does them at his boat. We'll do them at our dock at our house. They're a big hit, and people look forward to that. But we bring divers from the other shops and stuff. I mean, luckily, when I met Michael and we started to do this, I think I told him the story about when I very first moved here, and I didn't move here to do water sports at all. I didn't like the houseboat business for my wife. I moved here to keep doing real estate and other things, but I moved here in '08 when everything went.
Oh yeah.
So, we went through some rough years, but when I got here, nobody wanted to help you and nobody wanted to see you succeed. And, if you open there, how'd you get that location? And
it's okay.
All right.
Someone's asking to use the bathroom. It's like, no, we're not.
No.
We're not the men in the men's room.
But people were, first of all, locals that we met, some of them are like, oh, you'll never make it. And other people said, oh, well, how'd you get that location? I said, it was empty for years, and the landlord said, hey, do you want to open up here? Then I'd have another landlord see I did all right and go, hey, you want to open up over here? And we did it, but instead of fighting against businesses or competing against them, I always found it was easier or better to work with them. Even if they thought there was some other motive or whatever, I'd be like, hey man, if I don't do it, I'm going to call you or I'm going to refer people to you. That you do it. So maybe someday if you get somebody that wants to do what I do, so I said, I don't want it for money, I don't want it for whatever, I'm just calling you to send you some business that I don't do. And it ended up paying off over time, and now, other shops help us when our boat's down, and we help other shops. I mean, that's just what boats are. One boat's too many.
Yes.
We have 9 of them, I think, right now, if not more. I'd have to stop and count.
Yeah, well, I grew up on boats in the Northeast. My dad always had a boat, and it was just constant maintenance through the winter to make it run for like 3 months.
Something's always broken.
Yes.
Something's always broken. So we've learned to try and work with the other shops and help them, and they help us, and it's been great. So we all kind of hang out, and it's a small chain of islands, so I'd rather get along and work with people, and that's it's worked out for us that way instead of trying to go against everybody or, I mean, I literally had people when we bought and say, we're going to put you out of business. It's like, all right, I don't know what to tell you, but we're still here.
Yeah, I like, on the other side, there's like new restaurant owners come down here and like, I've come here to dominate. Or like, well, you can go home.
Yeah.
It's like, that attitude does not work down here. No. This is a collegial community.
And that's why I move here. That's why I like being here. And it's worked. And it's just beautiful.
Yeah.
So.
Well, one of the reasons my show has done so well, this was planned out in February, and I was appearing on Real Estate Conch, Michael Marinelli. I was appearing on his show to kind of cut my teeth on running a live broadcast. And we were set up to recruit sponsors and then we had a location picked out. That was me every week. And then COVID hit, and I said, well, we'll just do Zoom. And then said, you know what? I'm not going to worry about sponsors. And unfortunately, I did pick up a cruise line who hasn't launched yet. All the people interested, I said, I'm just going to showcase businesses in the Florida Keys because that's what I'm about. It's where I live. And the show has grown because of that. And then I'm a big member of the Key Largo Chamber of Commerce. I've been in nonprofit boards in town, and that's the attitude that works down here. And you and Michael figure it out. I mean, I love the family you've created there. I loved it when Michael said he joined up with you. He's such a great guy, and loves Susie. And I know they're struggling in Key West right now. I really feel for them.
I know.
So wish they were here. Enjoy Key West, guys. We're having fun with that.
How long would it take me? 2 hours to get there? What do
if I get in the car now? Since you mentioned history, we have to acknowledge some of the comments. And Michaeline's been blowing up our chat here. And I got to tell you, it's one of our most. We are on 2 different channels here with the A1A Media Network and my personal Facebook Live. And you guys are just blowing it up. We appreciate all the attention today. And the live viewers has been crazy. And then we have tons of comments. The response to trivia was fantastic. So Michaeline, let's see, over 80 for sure. Yeah. Michaeline, time for a cocktail, yes. I remember the houseboat.
Oh, yeah.
And she's proud of us. Oh, we're proud of you. So
she and Sid have always been supportive of my wife and I in our business. And I used to see him almost every day with his old job because I'd be at the Big Chill in the morning when he had the bread route.
Well, I knew Sid from both also in Sharky's.
Yep.
And in this town, it doesn't always help to know the bartenders. Your drinks get a little stronger sometimes. Yeah. So Gary, what's going on, Gary? And then Michaeline, I actually knew from Crystal Clear. I believe she's Michaeline, verify that. I think you were the Crystal Clear gang. And Dave Sheehan is the man from Garrett.
Oh, right. Another
what's
guy
cool
that's been very supportive of us. He worked at Ocean Reef for the kids camps and activities up there, and they've been very supportive of our business and use our parasailing and jet ski tours and everything. They've been great. Garrett moved away. I hope it's not too cold up there.
I hope you're doing okay surviving without the Keys. But we are in the Florida Keys. Enjoy the Journey Luxury Travel Show. We appreciate you guys joining us today, the AYM Media Network, and all of our affiliates with Cruise and Country Radio and the RadioA1A audience, and obviously podcasts. People listen to this on podcasts afterwards, and appreciate our podcast partners. We are live streaming today. Thank you for joining us. And I do want to give a quick shout out before we go, obviously to David Sheehan and Cove Watersports, and the Keys.
Keys Adventures Watersports.
Keys Adventures Watersports. And then the Visitor Center, just called Visitor Center?
The Florida Keys Visitor Center.
Florida Keys Visitor Center. And we have a few more minutes here. I want to do some more catching up on the chat, because you guys are blown up. I smartly tagged you and Michael and Susie,
awesome.
Everyone, so we're just blowing it up out there. Appreciate all you being here.
Yeah, Crystal Clear Divers, Michaelin was there.
Crystal Clear. Now, speaking of name changes, that's still around as Crystal Clear. But at Ocean, I think they finally changed it up there.
I think they just changed the name this past year, so somebody else took over or purchased the shop up there.
Jose took it over with a financier out of Ocean Reef. Where would you find a financier in Ocean Reef?
I don't know.
My friends Carly and Leslie Adams did own it, and that's when David Bryce was driving for them. And they kept it Crystal Clear. I never got the name Crystal, the C-R-I. It turns out that was the name of Dave Clark's wife.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh.
They in or out of jail? I don't even know.
She plead out. He is still away for a long time.
Your friends that used to own up there, a little trivia. I believe the company I used to work for used to rent office or retail space from them in Delaware.
Really?
They own property up there. So
it was his wife who went to jail. Oh, thank you, Micheline, with the updates.
Yeah.
Micheline, you're now officially part of the show. Please be here every week at Monday at 2 o'clock. You're hired. The reason I mentioned Crystal Clear is because most of the people I know down here in the dive industry, I was new. That was before your time. That was 2005-ish, maybe even 4. I went to my first DEMA in 05, and they had this monster booth. Must have cost them a fortune. They had these beautiful girls, like Micheline, hanging out in these shirts. I'm like, who's Crystal Clear? And that's when they were buying up the Keys. They were buying up all of it. They tried to buy it on Amore. She said no. They bought everything next to it. Kelly's, we all miss Kelly's, Neptune Cottages, Cabot's, and Marathon. They bought buying everything. It was crazy. What's nice is they got so many people involved in the dive industry, like Jacqueline Kelly, Micheline, people I'm still friends with.
Right.
And so I do thank them for introducing me to this great group of people, because I was a neophyte at DEMA. I had no idea who was even doing business down here. Besides OD, I was doing a lot of teaching for ocean divers. So she's in.
Yeah. The houseboat Michelin's talking about is one I bought from the bankruptcy from Crystal, from all their investments.
Wow.
They were building these giant houseboats to condo out in the marinas they bought. So instead of buying a house, you'd buy this double-decker houseboat. It's actually nicer than the house I live in. It was beautiful on the inside, but they were buying them. They were going to condo them out, and then they got into trouble, and the rest is history, as they say. But we bought that big houseboat out of their bankruptcy and lived on it in the Pilot House marina there for a year.
Wow, it's and the reason we mentioned, for those of you watching, this is a company that was in the Keys in the real estate boom of 05. I bought my house in the real estate boom and did very well. I found a great deal. I was fortunate in 04 and 05, and they were just a bit aggressive, and you can read in the papers what actually happened. I'm not going to comment. And as Micheline said, it was a crazy situation, but the people, the bonds we met, and there's still some great gear around. I know Joe, who bought the Crystal Clear, he bought it from somebody, but Dive-In. That's where I met Captain Pete through Dive-In. That was part of Crystal Clear. And then my Carly and Leslie bought Crystal Clear, whatever was left from Joe. I can't remember Joe's last name. Michael, help me out here. I'm drawing a blank. And then the guys we mentioned were the kind of heads of it, but it would end up being not the best operation, but we appreciate what we have from it, which is the people. And this is a community, and we appreciate you guys coming down here. Keys is open for business. We're here talking recreation in the Florida Keys with David Sheehan, co-owner of Cove Watersports. And we're having a great time here in the Florida Keys. We have a few more minutes to wrap up. I do want to mention one of our sponsors again because he has something special going on today. And then we're going to let Dave go soon and wrap up. You can hang out where you are, Dave. And then
No problem.
if you have to check a message, go right ahead. Oh, Joe Miller. It was Joe Miller who sold the shop. That's right. Joe's a good guy. And I'm going to go through the feed here and see any other questions. And Micheline, you're just dominating the chat today. Tell Sid hello. We miss Sid. He's the best. Although I saw him at an Ocean Reef event. He works for a distributor now, and he was doing the All Keys Charities weekend. Let's see. Another crazy story there too. Yes, lots of crazy stories. Acknowledging people coming on the chat, and let's see here. Harry Tieford, he's always watching. He's doing the broadcast today. Thank you all of our listeners on the A1A Media Network. Appreciate you joining. And also appreciate all the people that podcast afterwards. And definitely, if you're just joining now, rewind this. Listen to the whole show. We talked about recreation. These guys do so much. It's a one-stop shop, from parasailing to kayaking, SUP, stand-up paddle, which is very hot right now. Full-service dive shop. They'll even cook your catch. No, not that, but well,
Michael would.
Michael would.
They had a big. They took everything to Sharky's last night and had the lobster feast and everything. I didn't make it.
Oh, it's
but
too
it
bad.
looked delicious.
I haven't. I'm sure because he hasn't invited me in a while because of COVID and probably smaller groups going on. But I do miss the cookouts. I look forward to the next one. It's good people. It's nice that family environment that you guys created. It obviously comes from the ownership, and all the people I hang out with and I've got to know through the operation are fantastic. It's an operation that will take good care of you. I mean, I had David on today because he's a friend and Michael's a friend, but also they run a good operation. I use that operation and been on it since you guys have purchased it, and definitely the improvements in the shop and the staff were.
Susie does a great job.
Susie does a great job. I love Susie.
We carry clothing products too in the shop. So I mean, we carry hook gear, we carry
Nice.
Seafear, Tourmenter. So we carry other stuff other than just dive gear and of course our T-shirts. But so we have all kinds of stuff in there.
Right here, showing off. He's wearing the colors.
Does this fat make me look fat?
Hey, Michael, put in the chat which Pirates Cove Watersports gear you're wearing in Key West right now. That's okay. He's busy in Key West. He's not watching.
I bet it includes a koozie, a Pirates Cove beer koozie, if I was a betting man.
Nice. Yeah, there you go. But they got gear. They have everything you need, and they will certify you. I imagine, do you do resort courses and full certifications?
Yep. Yeah,
Okay.
we do Discover Scuba courses and full. And we have like Tom Whitmer who popped on there. He'll do IDC training.
Tom Whitmer.
Yep. So we'll do it all, start to finish with that stuff. I'd just like to say thank you to friends, family, supporters, people that have helped us make it through all these years down here and be successful. If it weren't for the people that work for us and with us and help us, and like yourself, I mean that's one of the other reasons I love it down here. So.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. It's about the people that support you, and this time more than ever. I mean, I was so happy to hear from Michael and from you that you guys have been doing okay since reopening. Obviously,
I mean, you can't make up the losses from losing a spring break, but we're still here and we're still open.
listen, I own a travel agency. It's all about 2021 right now.
I hear you can buy a cruise ship pretty cheap right now.
Yeah, they're
relatively speaking.
They're selling off the smaller ones, which is smart. Anyways, they have too many out there. That's a whole nother. That's for a 2-week show.
Right.
Atlas Ocean Voyages will be
There you
here.
go.
We're here with David Sheehan talking about recreation in the Florida Keys. Michael Byers couldn't be here, but he's in Key West.
Recreating.
He's recreating. Susie runs a dive shop. Michael runs the dive portion. Dave runs everything soup to nuts. Locations at the Big Chill and at Marriott Bay Resort, mile marker 103, 104. And go ahead and give out the web again, social media, and the actual address is where to find you.
Yeah, we're Pirates Cove Watersports, so it's pcwatersports.com is the website, or you can Google Pirates Cove Watersports. And also Keys Adventures Watersports is our location at the Big Chill. We have Facebook pages for those, Twitter, all that fun stuff. The younger people know how to do all that stuff. I'm able to get on the Facebook account,
Nice.
but the Twitter and tweets and all that, and Instagram, the guys in the shop do it. But they usually try and post videos from the daily dives. so you can see what's really going on in real time, or at least the next day, to see how the day before was. And we have a knowledgeable staff for all that. If you call in with any questions, they can answer them for you. But yeah, pcwatersports.com for Pirates Cove Watersports.
Thank
and
God.
that site has
a shorter URL.
Yeah,
not
yeah.
Pirates Cove.
Well, that was my other ones: Keys, Adventures,
Yeah.
Watersports. So it's the pcwatersports.com.
Easy enough.
That'll get you pretty much all the information you'll need on all our stuff.
Excellent.
And then the Florida Keys Visitor Center. They can help everything up and down the Keys. And hotels, other recreation, other diving, fishing, charters, all that stuff.
You can hook you up with everything.
Yep.
Excellent.
Whatever you want to do in the Florida Keys, if we don't know it, we'll point you in the right direction of it. So.
Yeah, and these are local owners. It's a local small business in the Florida Keys, and they are here actively involved in the business, and they do an amazing job. They are a community, a family. I hang out with their staff all the time, and they are amazing. I use their services quite a bit, and I sell travel, and I refer a lot of business to these guys, and please check them out. As we start to wrap up, I do want to acknowledge some of our sponsors, and first and foremost, our location, Key Largo Conch House. Thank you again. The great environment, excellent Wi-Fi for a Facebook live feed. That's very important. Challenge these days in some places. And they are open 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. every night, except for Thursday. They're closed every day, 3 meals a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. One update is they're on a limited touchless menu. You just scan a barcode. They're starting to bring back things slowly to their full menu. One reason they don't give you a full menu because it's COVID era, but also because not the full menu is available, and they don't want you ordering something on the menu. So use the touchless menu. But they have brought back the crab stuffed mahi last week. I had it just yesterday. It was awesome. Make sure you order the blueberry pecan crunch dessert. Watch my life even yesterday when I was promoting the show from here live on this porch, eating it. I just ate it. People were watching. I ate the whole thing in front of the crowd. People enjoy watching me eat, I guess. And then also the 12-ounce New York strip is back. For those of you who like steak, those of you may be allergic to seafood, that is back on the menu. So check that out. Check out Key Largo Conch House. Google them. They're also mile marker 100 on the ocean side. And also our Chip Bell has an audio book, and that's the Jake Sullivan series, his 8th book. I'll lay the mic. It's the Change in Attitudes, Change in Latitudes book. Check it out on iTunes, Amazon, on Audible. That is releasing today or tomorrow. And Chip Bell's a friend, a loyal sponsor, and he's a great author. And obviously Atlas Ocean Voyages, they are a premier sponsor of this show. I do appreciate in the time of travel that is so difficult, a travel partner sponsoring my show. I've already had 2 of their leadership on in sales. The VP of sales was on June 8th. Check out that show, Brandon Townsley. And then my friend Alicia was on. Alicia Logan was on 2 weeks ago, and it was an awesome show. And talking about all the places they go with their amazing ships. Check them out on AtlasOceanVoyages.com. The president himself will be here in 2 weeks. To learn about anything we talked about today, including Atlas, 305-453-9208. Dave at bucketwishtrip.com. Website is bucketwishtrip.com. You can also find out about a cruise I'm running with Atlas Ocean Voyages, a Antarctic solar eclipse cruise, late November, December 2021. It is very rare I actually go on a full trip, not just an exploration, the 2-week trip I'm going. Join my group, I have special rates. And check it out on my website. And I cannot forget to promote next week. We are not here. We're here in 2 weeks. We are back at Walt Disney World next week, August 7th to 11th. I'll do a live show from the World Showcase in Epcot to celebrate the Taste of Food and Wine Festival. We're going to mix up the show. We're not going to be in a suite. We're going to be partly inside, partly outside, weather dependent. We're going to give you an idea what's happening in Disney. And they are doing an amazing job of reopening, even in a tough time in Florida. They have set a model how to reopen anywhere, a country, a business, a territory. They own a town up there. And we're also going to do live feeds throughout the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th from villas. All the villas are open house, and I'm a vacation club member, so check that out. You want to see some nice digs. They have some great vacation club villas in the property. It's 3 o'clock, guys. Our time is up. David, thank you again for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Pirates Cove
Thank you
Watersports,
for
check them out. You guys have a fantastic Monday. Thank you, A1A Radio Media Network and Cruising Country Radio. We'll see you next Monday live from Walt Disney World. Atlas Ocean Voyages offers smaller ships designed for Luxe-Expeditions that extend the reach of adventure travel by sea, with their first ship launching in July 2021. Venture to small villages and remote locations, from the desert city of Petra to the frozen tundra of Antarctica. To experience Atlas Ocean Voyages, call David Hartman, 305-453-9208, Dave at bucketwishtrip.com.
You know, they may be called smartphones, but they are handled by regular folks like you and me. And we break things. Well, no more freaking out about breaking your smartphone, because Key Smartphone Repair is here. Just click or call keysmartphonerepair.com. That's keysmartphonerepair.com. keysmartphonerepair.com. It's fast, professional smartphone and tablet repair, located in Tavernier, mile marker 90, keysmartphonerepair.com. Click it now and save.
The Health Genie System Checker answers 3 important questions when you are feeling ill. What is wrong with me? How ill am I? And where can I receive care? System Checker puts the information and answers at your fingertips with the most advanced triage and healthcare technologies available. Engage on a personal level in your own words to describe your symptoms, with no smart trees or drop-down menus that force self-diagnosis. Health Genie System Checker provides an avenue to early healthcare engagement. Hello, David Hartman with Fantastic Endeavors. Fantastic Endeavors is a full-service travel agency based in Key Largo, Florida, specializing in custom individual and group travel. Our luxury travel advisors inspire people to answer 2 questions. What is your bucket list trip? And where do you wish you were right now? Fantastic Endeavors will personally tailor your journey to your needs. We build extraordinary, enriching experiences curated just for you. Call us today at 305-453-9208 or email at dave@bucketwishtrip.com. Enjoy the journey.
Come on, what are you waiting for? They're serving rum up, it's right next door. There's a party on the sandbar in the Key